Just let it go. And I'm not talking about some theme song from the movie Frozen. I'm talking about when in real life you are in the midst of turmoil. When do you fight? And when do you just relax your mind and your body and let go? I'm going to tell you a true life or death story that is a great metaphor for how this can work in life. Next. Hi, I'm Heidi Tucker, award-winning inspirational author and speaker. Welcome to the Pickled Sunflower, where we can come together, make a connection, and find some hope. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you're interested in finding a little bit of light in your mailbox each week. If you've ever been to the beach and played in the ocean waves, you have a new respect for Mother Nature, right? Those waves can be really powerful. And if you're unsteady on your feet or you're caught off guard, they can topple you head over heels and do some real damage to your self-esteem and to your body, right? As a scuba diver, I have a great respect for the ocean, but I also know it's a lot calmer down underneath the surface. It's beautiful and calm, and it's a wonderful experience to scuba dive. But up on the surface, I'm really nervous because I know what the power of those waves can do. And I think that there's a great metaphor for life in how we handle those waves in the ocean. And then we take a look at our life and how we're handling turmoil in our life. There are definitely times in life when we should fight and fight hard. But there are also times when that fight is wasted energy. My son has recently taken up surfing, and he has learned some really hard lessons about what to do and what not to do when fighting those waves. He has learned that it is just as important to be able to control your mind as it is to be physically fit. It's not just a physical exercise, it's a mental exercise as well. I can give you a great example of one of his adventures that will help sort of showcase this metaphor for life. My son Austin has taken up surfing because he has moved close to the Oregon coast. And in the wintertime in particular, the waves are bigger than normal. So there was one day recently that he was paddling out to get beyond the crashing, crushing waves that were coming down. But he was able to do that because he's had some training and he understands how to get through those crashing waves. He had done that, and he was sitting out there on his board, looked over at the other surfers on either side of him, and it was kind of like a badge of honor, right? We all made it out here. Suddenly, he looked back and saw two enormous waves coming for them. All of the surfers saw it, and you could tell that there was a nervousness between all of them because there was not enough time to come in and there was not enough time to go out beyond. They were clearly going to crash right on top of the surfers. Immediately, Austin thought back to his training, and he considered, how can I maneuver this? In fact, how can I survive this, right? So he considered the training that he had had, and he took a really deep breath. One of the lessons that you learn in surfing is that it isn't always the smartest thing to swim for the surface and to force yourself while you're being tumbled in the water. That can be wasted energy because the next wave is just going to come down on top of you. Instead, it's focusing in your mind. It's respecting that ocean. It's relaxing your mind, tucking into a ball, and just letting the ocean twirl you, trusting that you will eventually surface. But you have to be relaxed. You have to put your mind in a certain frame to be able to do that. It's really about three main things. It's about taking that big breath. It's about recognizing there is a critical moment to relax and trusting the timing. So after that great big clobber of those two gigantic waves, my son was okay. There were others that were actually hurt a little bit. And in fact, another surfer had his board completely ripped in half. That's how powerful those waves can be. It just goes to show that there absolutely are consequences to how we handle the fight. I think there's some real wisdom in this analogy. If you think about whether you're in chaos or whether you're in the midst of just some real massive difficulty in your life, perhaps an immediate and a relentless battle is not the best choice to fight. You may be doing more damage to the situation than relief. Think about when to take that big breath. Think about waiting and relaxing your mind for a moment, taking that opportunity to pull some prayer in, to put God on your side so that you can fight with wisdom and that perhaps you can know the right decisions to make. If you stand still for long enough, you can invite some inspiration into that situation. And then finally, trusting the timing. It all works together. It's really forcing a plan instead of having a knee-jerk reaction. Often the timing right in the midst of the battle is pretty bad, and it may be wasted energy, just as it is in surfing when you're trying to battle within the wave. I know that each situation is really different, and this is not meant to be something universal, but I think it's worth considering. As we learn about this surfing metaphor, it's worth looking at our life and recognizing in those moments, is this worth the fight, or is this better to let go right at this moment? Trust the timing, trust the big breath to bring something else in, and know that that might all work in your favor to be more productive and to resolve that situation in a better way. Letting go is not always a sign of weakness. Sometimes it's the intelligent thing to do. We'll see you here next time, here on the Pickled Sunflower.